past couple months, I've been feeling really intense brain fog and grogginess every single morning. I wake up, I scroll on my phone, and that can really be anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple hours, depending if it's on the weekend. And I find that I just have no motivation to get up after that. I don't really want to do anything with my day. I'm not excited about anything. And it just takes all of the dopamine, really, that I would have normally and just plummets it first thing in the morning. So this week, I'm going to ditch my phone in the morning. I'm going to get up early at 5 a.m. just to knit. Now, why am I putting myself through this? I, one, need to get a project done. I'm making a sample for a pattern that I'm currently working up, and to be honest, every day after work, I just don't have the motivation to work on it, or I'm just really tired, so I thought doing it first thing in the morning would be a great way to at least get a couple rows done before my day starts. Number two, I thought it would be a better motivator to actually wake up in the morning, something that I'm actually excited about. It's a good way to get the day started. I won't be looking at any screens, I'll be immediately knitting, and it'll give me time to reflect in the morning on my day and just have some peace before getting the day started. Anyways, that's this week's challenge. If you guys are new here, my name is Laura. I make videos on basically knitting, crocheting, anything related to fiber arts. This channel is really just my virtual craft club, so come join me. I hope you guys will enjoy this video, as I'm sure you guys are crafting along with me. Anyways, let's get started with the first night. Okay, tonight is the first night of the challenge, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Okay, no, I know why. I know that I need to get off my phone every time I wake up in the morning, and I know that the thought of knitting in the morning is going to be a really good motivator to make sure I get up, because when I do get up in the morning currently, I just like to roll around in bed and not get up for a while. My brain just feels so groggy during the day, so I really just want to be able to wake up to my alarm and be up. Other things that I've tried in the past, like journaling and stuff, haven't worked, so maybe knitting will be a good enough motivator. However, I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for me to just wake up and knit, so I'm actually going to cast on a project before I go to bed tonight. It's currently 9ish p.m. I'll try to go to bed probably before 10 p.m. Hopefully that should be enough sleep for waking up at 5:30. I'm finally going to go to bed. I got all my liquids. I have nice cold water and also a little bit of tea in this cup that my boyfriend painted me for my birthday. Actually in front, never guess what it says. It says Laura's first birthday. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm clearly not one. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I have my eye mask. I do feel decently tired for it only being like, it's 10 p.m. now, so let's go to bed. See you guys at 5:30. Good morning. So I snoozed my alarm like so many times. So it's not actually 5:30 anymore, it's like 6:30. But regardless, I am going to knit, at least for like 10 minutes, even if it's just a little bit. So I didn't get to knit too much, but I did knit a little bit, and I must say, I feel definitely less groggy. By the way, I'm doing my makeup as I'm talking here because I have to get ready for my day. But usually I feel super groggy and have like really bad brain fog in the morning just by being on my phone. And even though like I'm recording on my phone right now, that's like my main camera, it's nice that, you know, I'm not really looking at any of my notifications. I'm not going in seeing like what's on Instagram, watching like YouTube videos. All those kind of things always just motivate me to stay in bed, and then I find myself staying in bed a lot longer than I normally would. And like right now I think it's like 6:30, 6:40 or something like that, and normally I would still be in bed kind of waiting for like the last minute before I need to like get up I usually do my makeup every day, but sometimes I like rush to do it, so I feel like trying to get in this habit of knitting every morning will be really good for me because it kind of just gives me time with myself. I feel like I don't get enough silence these days. I'm like always bombarding myself with something to keep my brain active and like busy. And so doing the opposite of that and really trying to slow down a little bit before my day starts, I think will be a really good benefit in my life. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. It's now Wednesday. Yeah. I have the time pulled up here so I can prove that it is indeed in the early hours of the morning. I don't necessarily know if it was harder to wake up this morning than it was yesterday. I feel like it was equally hard. I feel like I was more motivated today to get up. I made some tea. Actually, look at this cup. I painted this cup for my birthday, and it has Kermit the Frog on it. And I am drinking some, I think it's like peach passion fruit tea or something like that. So this was my motivation this morning to get up. It's really hot. I kind of want to do a face mask. I feel like that would feel really nice right now. I think I'm going to do a face mask and then get started on my knitting. Because yesterday I woke up so late, even though it was still pretty early in the morning, I didn't get that much time to knit. So I haven't even like finished the ribbing yet, so hopefully I'll be able to finish the ribbing today and then get on to the next section. We'll see. I don't know. I think maybe like washing my face and putting a face mask on will make me feel very awake, so I'm gonna do that. I turned on some pink lighting because I thought it would look really cute in the background. Hopefully it does. Hopefully the vibes are nice and cozy. So I know some of the people that like watch my videos are pretty active knitters and crocheters. One thing I want to ask is how you guys feel about commissions and if you've been asked to do commissions before. I think every single knitter and crochet at some point gets asked by someone they meet, oh, can you make me something, or something to that degree. Most of the time when people say stuff like that, I don't actually follow through in whatever I'm making. What I mean by that is people usually just say it like very offhandedly, that comment, and I usually am like, yeah, sure, but it never comes up again. So most of the time I actually don't end up making something for that person, because in general, how I feel about commissions is that people aren't actually willing to pay the price it costs for a handmade good, at least the way that I would price it, which would be based off of the materials and the amount of time that I put into it, which in reality, for most of the things that I make would be like well into like hundreds of dollars. Obviously it depends on what it is, but if it's something that I designed myself too, that's going to cost a lot more than just me copying a pattern that's online or that like I bought for $5 to $7. I've actually done one commission in the past for my best friend. I made the very famous Harry Styles cardigan. I actually think it's a J.W. Anderson cardigan originally. Like that's the brand that came up with the design. And I remember that cardigan actually being part of the reason I got back into fiber arts. That one was like my first really impressive crochet project. And the materials I bought for that project were pretty cheap in terms of like relativity to natural fiber yarns that like I buy now. There were a bunch of different colors, and I think it came around to like $50 to $60 of yarn. And because it was my best friend, I think I asked her just to pay the cost of the yarn. So technically, like, she wasn't paying me at all for the additional labor it costed to actually make it. And while for the specific instance, I don't necessarily mind that because it was my best friend, and then on top of that, it was during the pandemic, so everyone was quarantining, and I was living with my parents back then, didn't really have much going on anyways. I was crocheting all the time when I wasn't doing schoolwork. So for me, it wasn't that big of a deal that I was, using up my time to make the cardigan because at that point I had like all the time in the world. But now that's not the case. I obviously don't have all the time in the world, and I don't really see myself doing anything similar to that again, where I would just make someone pay the cost of the yarn. Like, I want to be paid based off of my labor as well. And I think that's fair. But the reason I bring this up is because yesterday I met up with an old friend. This is someone that I used to work with like 6 years ago, and the topic of like hobbies got brought up. Noticed that like the sweater I was wearing was one that I knitted, and they were like, "That's super cool. Like, would you make me something?" And again, normally when someone asks me that, I'm just like, "Oh yeah, like, sure." But this time she was like, "I'll actually pay you like what it's worth." She's like very aware that like that could be well into the hundreds of dollars, but she was willing to pay for like a custom commissioned piece. And I just think that's so cool. So I'm really excited, and I really want to film like the whole process of that. I don't know, for those of you that do commissions, I'm very curious of like how that works, how much money people are usually offering you, or like how much, not offering, but like how much you quote people for it too. I'm just curious because I really don't know how that works. Normally, I've never gotten something commissioned myself. I just know how many hours I put into my work, so I assume it's like somewhat similar for other people in terms of like number of hours. Yeah, let me know in the comments. With all that being said, I think I'm gonna get ready for my day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. I'm really feeling the sleepiest because I haven't been really going to bed like any earlier. Usually I go to bed at like midnight and then get up. I have been trying to go to bed earlier because I'm waking up earlier, but I'm still only getting anywhere from like 6 to 7 hours of sleep. So I do feel really tired right now. I think it's like starting to hit me a little bit. I think yesterday I was feeling a bit more energized from waking up early, but today I feel very sleepy and I want to go back to sleep really badly. I also made some tea because my throat kind of hurts. I don't think I'm sick. I think it's just like congested. Let me show you the time. So it's 5:54. I didn't get up nearly as early today. Actually, I feel like the first couple times that my alarm went off, I actually didn't like react to it at all. Like in my sleep, I think I snoozed the alarm. To be fair though, I also don't have like a really loud alarm. Anyways, I got up early, so I'm at least gonna get some knitting in. Yesterday I did knit during the day too, just a little bit, not that much. I knit a little bit during like the afternoon and then in the evening as well. So this is what it looks like. I started on the other skein of yarn after the ribbing. I haven't made that much progress, to be honest. I haven't been knitting a lot this week, so yeah. Yeah, today is by far definitely the hardest day of this challenge. I'm going into the office today too, so normally I'm hybrid in my role, so some weeks I stay home, some weeks I go into the office, or like during a single week I like can go back and forth. But today I'm going into the office, so it does make it a little bit harder to wake up early. The one thing I've been really struggling with later in the day, which is like completely off camera, is taking naps. I am a very frequent napper, so sometimes I'll take naps until like very late in the evening. Like there have been multiple times I like start taking a nap at like 5:36 and then wake up at like 8 or 9. So like it's like a 3-hour nap. It's not even a nap at that point, it's just straight up sleeping. But that always messes with my sleep cycle, obviously, because I'm taking a nap so late that I get like re-energized at night and then don't go to bed until really late and then wake up early. Yeah, I think this clip is going to be a shorter clip because I'm really, really tired and I'm going to go back to sleep. Yeah, kind of failed on day 3, but giving myself a bit of grace because the big thing is just not going on my phone, which clearly, if I'm filming, I can't go on my phone while I'm knitting. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Sorry guys, I have failed this Thursday morning. Good morning, guys. I think it's today the 4th day of the challenge. Today is probably the one where I felt like the most awake getting up. So yesterday was really a struggle because I woke up kind of late and then I actually went back to sleep because I was so tired. I also just had a really long day at work. So yesterday when I was going to bed, I went to bed at like 9:30, which has been earlier than like any of the other days that I've been going to bed. So, especially for today, I got a lot of sleep. I'm still not used to waking up this early though. I'm still like pretty tired. One thing I've noticed is my brain fog is definitely a lot better. I feel more focused during the day, not having gone on my phone first thing in the morning and just like scrolling. The knitting has been super like therapeutic and calming. So, and yes, I am wearing the same pajamas as yesterday because I just bought this shirt and it's really soft. I really like it. In terms of my knitting, haven't really gone too far. It's pretty much, I mean, the same as what you saw yesterday. Haven't been really able to knit at all, pretty much, outside of like just the mornings. I've been like super busy during the day because when I'm not at work, I come back and I'm pretty much super exhausted and want to sleep. So I haven't really gotten too much knitting done. I have some time now, so I'm gonna knit. Good morning, guys. You saw the time correctly. It is Sunday, not Saturday, and I did not wake up early on Saturday to knit. I went to bed on Friday night, basically close to midnight, so I really needed the sleep on Saturday. I think I was just like so sleep deprived from the week that I needed the full 8 hours on Saturday to sleep and kind of rejuvenate from the week. That way when I go back to work on Monday, I won't be starting off the week so sleep deprived. But did wake up early today, got some knitting done. I think it's now about like 7:30 or something. But I finished one full skein of yarn and I moved on to the second one. So this is what the project looks like right now. Another reason I'm getting up early this morning is to go on a run with my roommate, and I used to do track when I was in high school, but ever since then I have not actually run. I was also a sprinter, not a long distance runner, so my stamina for like running a mile is not good. Before I end off this video, I wanted to show you guys the current progress of where I'm at with this project. This is what it looks like, and I'm really excited to knit up the rest of this. I probably won't document myself making the rest of this. I kind of need to focus on making the pattern and this sample so I can get everything written up and figured out for the final pattern that I'm going to be putting out. But before we end this video, I also wanted to kind of reflect on the full week of waking up at 5 a.m. to knit. Did I actually wake up at 5 a.m. every day? Clearly not. Most of the times I was waking up a little bit before 6 a.m. or around 6 a.m. But the goal was to at least just wake up early, start my day without looking at my phone. I think I really managed to achieve that this week. I did find myself way less brain foggy and less groggy throughout the day. I had much more focus throughout the day too, and that is like at work, but also during the weekends. I felt like I really focused in on what I needed to be doing and what I wanted to actually be doing. I spend so many hours on my phone, and to be honest, a lot of the times I'm just scrolling for no reason. There's nothing that I'm really specifically looking for, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram. Sometimes I just use it as an escape for whatever is currently going on in my life. And I think during this week, waking up early, not only did it have the benefits of like more motivation, but also like I found myself way less anxious during the week, which is something I wasn't really expecting. And while I don't think waking up at 5 a.m. will be a consistent habit for me, because clearly even this week it wasn't, I think not going to my phone first thing in the morning and using knitting as a way to clear my head before the day starts is definitely a habit that I want to get into more frequently. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. There I post more pictures of my fiber arts projects, of course, but also a little bit about my life, things I'm eating, that kind of thing. So if you're interested, go follow me there. If you liked this video and you want to join my virtual craft club, please subscribe. I mainly make videos about knitting and crocheting, but there are a lot of other crafts out there that I want to do for this channel, and maybe one day I'll explore different avenues. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!